Say it again.
PA just wanted to slip in here.
Deuteronomy. Hey, good morning.
Wanted to congratulate you on another 5 years calling Vikings games.
This is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
It is Minnesota Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins joining us at the TCO studios. And what, were you just in the neighborhood?
We were in the neighborhood. Thought I'd stop by. We got a team meeting in a few minutes. But
right on.
Figured since you're broadcasting here and you just announced you'll be here for another 5 years calling Vikings games, might as well stop by and congratulate you and say hello. Are you doing shows from here very often, or is this a rarity?
Myself and the producer, Con, we do shows here every Wednesday.
Gotcha.
And so what we'll do is Zimmer has his press conference at 10, then you start chatting around 11, so we'll pick stuff up like that.
Gotcha.
But, man, it's very gracious and very giving that you stop by and say hello. I mean, this was like the only open segment we had the rest of the show, so, now there's no reason to worry. We're not going to dwell. We don't have any anxious feelings, and we will just move forward. And do you have a few seconds to chat football?
Yeah, let's chat ball a little bit.
How was it with Adam with the snot-nosed kids? I mean, the Power Trip morning show this morning.
Yeah, it went well. It was good. We just kind of shot the breeze for a few minutes, and again, great to have them in the building as well.
Now, you the Chargers game, Kirk Cousins, surprising 9 to noon at 10:41. That Chargers game, man, you were firing fastballs in that game. There were a couple of passes, and I've seen it from you more this year and some last year, but just the velocity and the speed on some of these passes to get them in there. Were you ever a pitcher at any level? Did you have a chance to pitch in college or anything?
I pitched in high school. I played football, basketball, baseball all through high school, and I think that was a huge advantage to be able to play a variety of sports as long as I possibly could.
Yeah.
I think it developed me as an overall athlete. But college baseball, I may have been there for me at a lower level. I wasn't going to play big-time college baseball, but I did pitch and enjoyed it. And throwing a football and throwing a baseball are very different. I throw a football much better than I threw a baseball. But, we got a few down the field last week. It was nice to have a running attempt as well.
Yeah.
We're trying to get you those touchdowns, those rushing touchdowns. I haven't been able to deliver.
The rushing attempt was good and bad. I mean, with all due respect. The 14 was sweet. Yeah. Was it a shoulder shake, or how would you describe the fake?
Well, I just felt we got the look we wanted. I knew that the safety had to close, and I thought if he closes, I don't really need to do much, and if he doesn't close, I'm going to be in trouble either way. So I did a quick fake and just said, I got to get out of here quick.
But with all due respect, it was the longest run we had in the entire game, and it was from you. So, I mean, obviously you want that to get a little better.
Yeah, the Chargers defense, what got lost in all that was they were 4th overall. And so they were a really good defense. I think the 7 turnovers kept giving us a short field, so we were getting field goals without doing anything.
Yeah.
And for a few of those turnovers, we didn't do anything. I mean, we pretty much went 3 and out and got 3 points. So the defense did a good job of containing the run game, and we really only had 25 pass attempts. So we just didn't have that many cracks at it, even with all the turnovers.
But it shows you the watching back critically of games is so important when it's 11-on-11, man, because, the long run was 14, and Dalvin left the game, and Boone came in, got a couple of TDs.
Did a great job.
But the way you guys ran when the lead was extending may not have been explosive and super long, but it beat down the adversary, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. I think in the fourth quarter, especially running the football the way we did was big, and especially I think it was a 3rd and goal from the 2, and we called basically a goal line run.
Yep.
I mean, usually a goal line run from the 2-yard line is getting stuffed. So the fact that Boone was able to get in there, our O-line did a great job of giving him that chance, and he gave a great effort. That was an additional 4 points. Instead of having to kick a field goal, we get a touchdown. So plays like that were great to see, and if not for a couple holding calls, we had some really good runs as well, even later in the game.
KFAN and the Minnesota Vikings earlier today announced a 5-year extension to our radio deal, and Vikings quarterback Kirk Cousins, nice enough to stop by and congratulate all of us on that deal, so we're chatting a little football. And, your offensive line, what I've called the Minnesota Moving Company for 18 years on the microphone, you've been sacked, and it's more than the line, but we'll start there. You've been sacked 0 or 1 time. 10 of 14 games.
Didn't know that.
I know it's a collective effort here, man, with tight ends and C.J. Ham and the running backs and you. But the offensive line, I mean, is praiseworthy, Kirk.
Certainly. Like you said, it's a group effort, but we sit there in our protection meetings on Thursday morning with the O-line and talk through the different blitzes that we're going to see and the unique looks and the ones we have to be ready for. And have had good communication with Garrett all the way through the season. We're going to face some good defenses here down the stretch, some great pass rushers, and some looks that are going to bring a challenge. But I think Garrett's done a great job with his identifications. When you factor in that he's only a rookie, it's exciting to think about the growth that is still up ahead of us and how we can get better from here.
And it's such a complimentary game. And again, watching it back really makes you appreciate that. Where, for instance, my opinion might be wrong. Hopefully, I'm not. In the Seattle game, there were moments where things in front of you weren't exactly as good as they had been previously. Boom, you get rid of the ball more quickly. So that complements each other.
Yeah, there's no doubt that you take pride as a quarterback in getting the football out of your hand, not holding on to it forever. The best O-line is still not going to hold up for 7 or 8 seconds. So you got to be able to still process and get the ball out quick. Play calling is a big part of it too. Let's not ask a young green lineman to be blocking one of the all-pros. Let's try to find matchups where we can get double teams on a really good player or do things that are going to be fair asks of our teammates. And then, also use misdirection and play action to slow down a pass rush. So there's a lot of pieces that all have to come together to help with the pass protection. But it's a team game in every facet. You probably point to any stat and talk about how it's a group effort.
Kirk, from afar, one of the better moments, or at least most impressive to me that you've had this season. I mean, you were the October NFC Player of the Month, and we had all the touchdowns against Philly. And I mean, there are some obvious things there. The first half of the Denver game really impressed me, and here's why. You're 10 of 12 for 57 yards, okay? But the game's getting away for multiple reasons. It's 20-0. So if you go out a body man and try too hard because you want to get it back lickety-split, could have ended the game.
Right.
But you didn't. And then in the second half, you and everybody else tore it up. That first half of that game, man, to me, it was 10 of 12 for not many yards and nothing visually or obviously impressive, but I felt it was key, man.
Yeah, jumping into the 2-minute helped in the second half, and you certainly couldn't have a turnover or gift them something. That was only going to make it worse. So you did just try to let the game come to you, and I guess as time proved, 1 half was enough time. And again, going back to a team game, our defense held them to 3 points in the second half. And when you don't feel like you have this moving target that you're chasing, it makes a big difference because when they were able to hold them, then we could get back into it.
How do you decompress after games, wins or losses or whatever?
Yeah, not well. It's easier after a win, I guess, especially after a win where you feel like you played well and did your part. I was just commenting today at our workout how it's tough, coming back from the West Coast, even after a win. You got a long flight. You get in around midnight. I don't sleep as well after games, win or loss, just because you're processing all of it. And then you get up the next morning, go back to work, and you never really feel like you can catch your breath and, time zone adjustment. It's just, it's part of the deal. So, but wins make it a lot easier, make the next week a lot easier, a lot more enjoyable. And you do need to be critical and look at it with a trained eye and think about all the different plays in the game, but you can also drive yourself crazy, and I'm probably drive myself crazy at times thinking of all the plays we should have done better.
You being a quarterback, you're a leader. You're inherently a leader because of the spot. But I've noticed it a lot this season with players relying on you as the alpha, as a true leader of this team. And that, to whom much is given, much is expected. And I'm not asking you to put a spot and put your fist down and say, I am the leader, I am the alpha. But I mean, a lot goes into that, right, Kirk? Good performance, things that transpire in offensive meeting rooms, talking about plays. Leadership is more than 25 touchdowns or whatever and X amount of interceptions. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, you certainly got to walk the walk, so you're not going to be able to lead very far if your play doesn't back it up. So it really starts with playing football well and having earned that right and proving yourself over years. And so that's something you're always needing to prove. But once you've done that and asserted yourself in that way, certainly it goes far beyond that. You got to build relationships with your teammates. You've got to be a guy that can connect with a variety of different people from different backgrounds. You need to be a question asker. You need to go to people, not expect them to come to you. The whole 9 yards. And then you got to also know when to pass the torch to the coach. At the end of the day, the coaches coach and the players play. And so I can lead and speak up in meetings, but I'm also, I should be self-aware enough not to, bogart a coach who's running the meeting and has a plan. So you also need to step back and let him, call the plays that need to be called and do your part. So I always have tried to be sensitive to that and yes, help young players as best I can because our success, the quarterback's success, our team. It all depends on all of us working together, and we rely on a lot of young people, young players to contribute to that.
What do you like about the way Kevin does it during the course of a game? I mean, his first full year as an offensive coordinator.
Well, he just seems very organized, very structured. He understands what his plan is. He has a plan. It doesn't feel disjointed, and I feel like we do stick to the plan. And so I guess from that standpoint, it's a comfort as a quarterback when you feel like there's an identity, there's a plan, we're executing the plan, we're staying on schedule. And I think, Kevin's aware of plays that he can call to put us in a good position.
Yeah.
He's aware of the good players that they have on the other side. He's aware of the tough looks that they could bring. And so he's not trying to call plays that are going to make it extra difficult on me or on our offense. And he's always looking to put us in a position where we can be successful. Through
fellowship on the road, I've gotten a chance to really, really know your father, Don, quite well.
Yeah.
Probably texting a little more than even you know.
Oh, that's funny.
I absolutely adore him. And what are some ways he specifically, and this is not to shortchange brothers, mom, anybody else in your family, your father, Don, some ways he shaped you as not only a football player, but who you are as a person?
Yeah, I mean, he was my coach growing up. So, youth sports, and then even in high school, we had just started our football program. So he helped out as just kind of a volunteer assistant. It was fun to have him on the sideline, and a lot of great memories there. And so he's a coach at heart.
Yeah.
He's a pastor, so he's in ministry. So he's coaching people still in that role. And he loves sports. Loves the games and watches them closely, whether he's here in the stands or home at a distance. And it's fun to have that dialogue throughout the season. He's a great encouragement. And certainly the traits that you need to be a pro quarterback and to handle the adversity that comes your way, my dad helped develop those in me, instill those in me, and continues to. Even now at the age of 31, he continues to pour into me. But he's given a couple of the chapel talks night before games, and it's been fun to have him around and get to meet people like yourself. I think that's been fun for our family, where they can get a little closer to the organization and see all the great people like yourself that are around here.
So, and likewise, so now a new 5-year extension between KFA and radio and the Vikings. You think we'll be calling your games here all 5 years? Or
that'd be outstanding. That'd be outstanding. I got to do my part. We got to win these last two, get in the playoffs, and do something special. But boy, I would love that.
Hey, good luck against Green Bay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Kirk Cousins on the 9 to Noon show. Back after this.